hey y'all, and welcome back to Lisa's Cottage. There's a great echo in here. I've started my Tuesday morning off with first getting this rug up. Ken's been sick for several days and he went to the doctor today. It must be a stomach virus. And then Sophie's been sick. Has us wondering, can our fur babies get viruses, sicknesses from us? She's at the vet today too, so if anything is going on with her and they need to hydrate her because she's becoming dehydrated, if she is, we're just having her checked out for that. They'll do that, and if they think she needs to stay overnight to do that, we told them that we're all for it. So she had some accidents here on the rug this morning, so I pulled the rug up and took it outside. What we're gonna do is take it and have it cleaned, because I'm telling you, there is no way I could just do a spot cleaning on that rug because of the smell. I have a very keen nose that can smell anything and everything, and sometimes it's over exaggerated what I smell versus what the person next to me or the people in the same room or house with me that they can smell. So we got to get that cleaned up. It's not marked up. Got that up. Ken did that for me. Bless his heart. I'm seriously mean. Bless his heart. He cleaned that up for me. And I do have a wee vacation this week. It started yesterday afternoon, late afternoon, and it will go through Saturday, and then we will be back in swing of the 24/7. I've realized real quickly that I am the type that's going to have a wee break once to twice a month. And for me to be my very best for others, I've got to stay at my very best. And I'm not one to ask for help, but I have learned through my lifestyle now and at my age, it is okay to ask for help. So I have reached out and asked for help, and that's what I've been doing. I've been taking the help that's gifted or given or shared with me. But what I'm thinking, I'm gonna go ahead and get outside. I need to go ahead and push mow the backyard. We've had a young man mowing the outer parts of the yard for us the last 2 mowings, and that's just because of the time. We're finding we just don't have time anymore to stay on top of the things that we could last spring and summer. Again, we're asking for help. And yesterday, somebody bought a tractor, and along with that tractor, they got a free pink John Deere hoodie, a hat, and some work gloves. So I'm going to be putting those work gloves into action today. And look at that little bird that's on the shepherd's hook where the hummingbird feeder is. You've got to get some new feeders this spring. Got to get out to Lowe's and pick up my pine needles so I can get those put down. And I'm also asking for help in the flower beds out front. So Ken's doing everything possible that he can do to make sure that I'm going to stay sane, because you know there is a fine line in between sanity and being insane. I've heard that many years ago when I was younger, and I've adopted it, and it's true. I think he has a nest, or she, right there in the weeping cherry tree. Or weeping mulberry. No, that's the weeping cherry and the mulberries over in the corner of the yard. And there is the rug when I can get some help to shake it out. And then I'll roll it up tightly to get that ready to be taken off for someone to professionally clean it for us. And I'm thinking some dry cleaners do it. That's where I'm gonna start looking, is with dry cleaners. But everything is just blooming and looking lovely. Coming down the mountain of the hills there of Tennessee, it is absolutely gorgeous. I just grabbed some quick video on my phone. I'll try to share that on Instagram. And the tractor is supposed to be delivered tomorrow. And Ken's jumping up and down. He wants it here like yesterday. And I definitely can't blame him. I had sent a picture to our son, and I sent him a picture this morning of a couple of different John Deere tractors, and I said, don't you think a his and her John Deere tractor would be appropriate, and this one would be your dad's, and this one would be mine. And he said, that big one probably cost as much as my house did. And I'm like, yeah, it probably did. But a girl can dream, right? Well, this gal does dream. And I've always wanted a John Deere tractor, and I have been saying it for years. I'm going to get a John Deere tractor. And yesterday was it. But we both know it's really going to be Ken's tractor. But I think he'll allow me to play on it and use it from time to time. Of course, he'll have to teach me how to use it. I don't know if I shared with you all, we got Mom's deck. Well, I'll go inside and come out her door and share that with you. I know I have been really slacking on getting the videos out, and the reason being, this year has been a very emotional year for me. If you've been following my channel for very long, you know that my biological father found me in August. I found out about it August 3rd. I met him. He met me because I flew out to New York that following weekend. And then I made 1, sometimes 2 trips into New York a month. We had a lot of catching up to do. We lost our dad on January the 8th at 4:45. And I was very blessed to be able to fly into New York those last few days of his life and be there. And I'm very honored that my siblings allowed me to be part of those last days, to be there with my dad, our dad, and to be there with them. I have come to love them, and I just seriously don't know how I have lived my life without my siblings, my brothers and my sisters. This is out Mother's door, her deck, and we're looking to get an awning put on over the deck here. Maybe even, we've talked about it, Ken and I, maybe getting this screened in with a metal roof. Wouldn't that be amazing to sit out here in our rain, but not our storms, because we can get some nasty, nasty storms here in the hills of Tennessee. Things are blooming, but we picked up a table with the 4 chairs. There's 2 there, and then the 2 here. Ken had to put these together. He did that one weekend, and we rode Mama out here so she could enjoy the beautiful weather. And I just brought one of our umbrellas over so we could have her shaded while she sat out here with Ken. And we're realizing they were supposed to put some steps in here, and now we're realizing we really wish they had done that. They forgot to do it, had already built all the rails here, and I just said forget it, don't worry about it, deduct that from our final bill. And we are really realizing how important those steps were when I am working out here in the yard, where I could just walk up these steps instead of having to come in another way through the house to check on Mama. Like if I'm just out here piddling around for like an hour, so I can keep coming back and forth and checking. We are wanting to get a screen door put in right here so I could hear her, but I carry around, she has an alert button in there, and then I carry around the little speaker monitor that I would hear her calling for me, and I've heard her before. And I said, how long did it take me to get to you? She said, oh, you were in here in no time. So that's what I do now, or carry around the monitor screen where the cameras are watching her if I need to come in sooner than later. So yeah, everything is blooming, and we had this tree here, of course, before the deck went in, and then I had this bed. But I've got to get some pine needles hopefully this week while I have a few days off, get those turned over down there, or rake them out, put them somewhere else, and then get the new put down. Same thing over there under the gazebo. We've been wanting to paint that gazebo ever since we've put it up, and somebody was here looking at our roof. I think it was last week or over the weekend. We lost some shingles during the last storm. We actually thought we were getting ready to have a tornado. We were under tornado warnings. Ken came in and he said, baby, you need to get in the closet, and that's our safe place. And we got his mom in there, and Sophie, our cattle dog, in there. And he says, when I see shingles coming off of my roof, when I see shingles coming off of our roof, it's time to get in the closet. And so we lost some shingles, and got to get that fixed, get those put back on. Nothing like spring projects when you have we time, right? A question that I would ask of you all so we can interact in the comment section below. Are you all having any issues with red wasp? We are having major issues, and Mother told us she was allergic to bees, so we made sure to get her EpiPen. We got that filled a week or so ago when we rolled her out here on the deck and she had seen some wasps flying around. She told Ken that she was allergic to bees, and I was like, does she have an EpiPen? And she said, I do at home in Michigan. And it's like, oh no, we've got to have that on hand at all times, because I cannot tell you how many times I get stung out there through the warm weather every year. Oh my goodness, since I have discovered Walmart is carrying Yankee Candle wax warmer, wax for your warmers, I'm loving it. I love Macintosh. That's always been my favorite candle. From Yankee. Now they have the little wax melts. Oh, they smell so good. So that's what I have warming, or that's what I have now in the warmers, is the Yankee Macintosh. And it smells so good down there on that end. Well, they gave us 2 hats. So Kim let me choose. And at first I chose the black one, but I chose this one, the John Deere. I'd already had the hoodie in my hands because I was going to purchase it one way or another. I have several. Well, I'd had several. I had given a couple of them to my granddaughters, John Deere hoodies. And then the guy says, well, I had the hoodie here and a pair of John Deere garden gloves or working gloves. And he said, let me see the hoodie, or let me see those. And Ken gave them to him. He tore the tag off of it. And Ken says, well, we thought we were going to get a discount on them because this is like a $40 hoodie, and he tore the tag off and gave them back to me. And basically, well, he did gift them to us, but we just purchased a John Deere tractor from him. So yeah, that was pretty nice of him. So that's the back of the John Deere hoodie. John Deere equipment since 1837, Illinois. And I always wash my new clothes. As soon as I get the tags off of them, I like to wash them. And I've been hanging my clothes to dry since I was 19. Very few do I put in the dryer, like my work clothes that I work outdoors in the garden and whatnot. I will put those in the dryer, of course. And it's so funny, I seen somebody the other day sharing their outfit of the day, and it was overalls covered in paint, and I guess that's the style, the look now. And I was like, oh my goodness, they look just like my garden or outdoor clothes. When I put those on, I always say something sarcastic like, you know, I'm not gonna be entering a beauty pageant today. And it's just amazing what's in style now that is really my dirt therapy clothes. I bet I could get a good price for them if I wanted to sell them, because they're the real deal. That's what I'm thinking. I'm just going to go ahead and fold that load really quick, get them put away. That way when I come in this afternoon to get my shower and cleaned up for the evening, I won't have that hanging over me. But I just wanted to say hello. Thank you for being patient with me. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think of my dad, that I don't hear him or that I don't see him. And it mostly affects me at night when it's bedtime. I did wash all the patio furniture down there on the lower patio. I had cleaned that all up, and now it's just covered in pollen. I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about there. And I was actually cleaning the glass table today here in the kitchen. And when I was flipping the rag over, it was just completely green. And Ken was here at the time, and I said, look at this. And he thought I had just been outside cleaning the table with that rag. I'm like, that's coming off of this table, but that's where I have these windows open quite often. If I can get a breeze going through here and air out the house, those windows are open. Those 2 windows and 1 other window are the only 3 windows of all these windows that we have screens on. And that's why, so I can open these 2 here and get a cross breeze. One if I'm cooking something here in the kitchen and it's really smelling up the house, I will open these windows to get a breeze going through here to try to air it out. So I'm hoping while I have these few days off to get to Lowe's, get the pine needles, get those down, get the flowers that I put on the front porch, and the ferns and the flowers that I like to put out into the concrete vases down there on the steps. And a couple over here on this porch, and I like to put a couple over here on this porch. And a 2-cup of coffee kind of day. Already had that. That might be why I'm so wired up right now, wanting to do all the projects at one time. Gonna find out how our Sophie girl is doing. We've not heard anything from them. Ken went to the doctor this morning. They tested him for the flu. He doesn't have the flu, but they did put him on an antibiotic. And I've been telling him, stay hydrated, even though that it seems to be going right through your system. Stay hydrated. And that's exactly what the doctor told him too. You've got to be sure you're staying hydrated. Well, I told him that. As of right now, it's 20 minutes to 12. I'll give myself that 20 minutes to get the rest of the things that I can get done in 20 minutes so I can get ready to get outdoors and get started out there. Because once I get out there, I don't like coming in, and I definitely don't like coming in if the projects that I'm working on at the time are not done, are not completed. Just like that, I got the pieces put back where they belong. And it really looks funny not having the rug. And I was gonna tell you, she tried to, Sophie, and I call her Soapy all the time. I hardly ever call her Sophie anymore. Soapy Suds. She tried so hard to wait till she got outside, but guys, her little tummy is just really messed up, and I've got word in now to see if we can get any kind of update on how she's doing and maybe what they think's going on with her belly. And hopefully she's gonna be well on the mends and get back. Well, she hasn't really been acting sick the past 2 days, but over the weekend she acted pretty puny, and it started out with her throwing up. And then it went into, she didn't want to eat one day, but she ate later that evening, and she started feeling much better. And then it went into the other issue. And like I said, she tried really hard to get outside, but it just didn't happen. And she will ask to go to any one of these doors. And she was asking to go to this door and that door, and she had tummy issues. I wanted to show you all my earring tree organizer. And you know, I've had this here for my necklaces. And then I got one for my bracelets. This one for my bracelets. It's so nice to have it all out where I can see it and put it back. That's the key for me, to get it put back once I come in for the evening and remove all my jewelry. So this is just my costume jewelry that I have finally found a place to put all the stuff. And Ken just gave me a board. He actually gave me 4 of them. I put the other ones away just to put across here on this shelving piece here. He told me to sit down and draw up what I would want made for in here. I told him I'd like for it to go to the ceiling. He was like, oh, okay. With either open shelving and maybe the lower half with some shelving that has doors on it, so I can put anything that I want to put in the doors, put it behind doors so I can't see it. This is all the stuff I've got to carry to my girls when I go to Alabama. A bunch of makeup and a bunch more makeup and odds and ends, skin products, and this purse. And this purse has quite a few items in it too. I always ask Tara, do you think you and the girls would like to have this stuff that I'm purging, getting rid of? And she's like, oh yes. So I gotta take that when I go into Alabama. And there's the other 3 pieces of board. Woo-wee, it is some kind of warm out there. What is the temp today? My feet are sticking to my floor. It says 80. 80, and what is it? The 16th of April. Ooh, something tells me it's going to be a really hot and sticky summer here in the hills of Tennessee. So I got the fenced in part of the yard push mowed. And this far I've not been collecting any of the grass when I mow, being it's this early in the season. But I'm sure once it starts thickening up and the patches start filling in, I'll be collecting the grass when I push mow with the bag that's attached to the mower. I've got a pile of stuff to take down to the burn pile. Those are the shingles that blew off. We had another roofing company to come out and give us a bid quote today. He was pretty reasonable. And I don't know if they're gonna try to reuse those or if I need to trash those. Once I can get some extra hands, I want to roll this rug out and shake it or vacuum it really good and then roll it up tight and get it ready to take somewhere to get it cleaned. You can see stuff starting to fill in. I've got to get the pressure sprayer out and start washing the patios here. Might try to do that this weekend. My weekend off. I haven't even done the first fertilizing yet this far. This spring 2019. But things are seeming to come out pretty good without me doing that. Gotta get that rug back up there, back down on the porch there. And I still have to, I just use the weed eater over in this part now since the deck's been put up. I just use the weed eater to knock the grass down. It doesn't take much to do that. And I still have to weed eat around the fence, around the trees, and then when I can get my pine needles, which I might try to do that tomorrow, and start laying those down. But I have to check the weather. Never got to the bridge down there last year. We were in and out. We were probably in the skies, it seems like, more than we were on the ground. Totally exaggerating, but we were doing a lot of flying last year and didn't get to the projects that I had hoped to get to. I stained the fence. I am going to go ahead and just stain Kansas Mama's deck the same color as the fence. Stain her deck and the lattice the same color as the fence, which is already stained on the other side, but I told Ken I may go ahead and do a fresh coat this year while I'm doing the inside of the fence here. He said, whatever you want to do, keep on plugging until I have no more energy to plug away or plug on. It's only 3:30, so that's good. And I'm cooking tonight. We may just order something to be delivered here. Sounds good to me. I think this is where I'm going to close this one up and get it uploaded and get it edited and get it set to go live for you all. Thank you for coming along. Thank you for watching. If you don't mind, would you hit that like button? If you've not already subscribed to Lisa's Cottage, I would love to have you to subscribe. But this is where I'm going to say, until we meet again, you all take good care and bye-bye.